apparatus. Now you have prevailed in the electoral contest here in the venerable Simba Hall. What can one say to such a brilliant constellation of lawyers other than a very simple thank you for a job excellently done? And finally, but not least, to my family, to my wife, and to Tino and Eddie. The boys could not go home because father was in jail and their mother was in Arusha fighting. I cannot say anything more other than to say, perhaps those who coined the Swahili saying, mchumajanga hula na wakwao, in this case, nilichuma majanga mengi nimekula na wakwangu. Asanteni sana. Mr. Chairman, as I said a few weeks ago, when I formally launched my bid for the presidency of the Tanganyika Law Society, this is the most consequential election in the history of the Tanganyika Law Society. This was the most closely watched election in more than 60 years of TLS. People who had never heard of TLS before followed every twist and turn of this contest with keen interest. This election saw the most dramatic and unprecedented intervention from the state and its security apparatus. President John Pombe Magufuli personally weighed in with the immense weight of Ikulu, as did Minister Mwakembe, who on several occasions threatened to disband TLS should you, distinguished members, choose a politician such as the one speaking to you now. For the first time since TLS was created more than 6 decades ago, certain of our own members and elected leaders consorted with government operatives to torpedo the TLS elections, which are mandated by our founding statute. For the first time in 62 years since the Tanganyika Law Society Act was enacted, certain of our own members went to court to try and prevent these elections from taking place. Yet, for all this, here we are today, triumphant. This unprecedented assault on the independence of our National Bar Association, the barely concealed attack on the integrity of our electoral process, and the crudest attempts to control us did not succeed. To paraphrase Sir Winston Churchill, during the most critical moments of the Battle of Britain, if Tanganyika Law Society is to survive in the next 1,000 years, the children of our children's children will say of us today, this was their finest hour. But Mr. Chairman, why all this fuss? The role and mandate of any and every National Bar Association, particularly in the common law world, has always been larger and wider than the simple words found in the statutes of the national law societies. Because private law practitioners are uniquely positioned at the intersection between the state and its administrative apparatus, the courts and the citizens, lawyers have always been called upon as arbiters between the interests of the state, the courts, and the citizens. Simply put, it is us lawyers who keep the state at bay by preventing it from using the judicial apparatus to oppress our people. It is us lawyers who keep society from descending into chaos by mediating disputes between contending litigants in courts of law. Given this unique position, it is us lawyers who are the ultimate guardians of the rule of law. It is us lawyers who are the ultimate protectors of legality and the respect for rights of our people. Mr. Chairman, there was a time in the 1980s